Nick Dunn wakes up on his 5th wedding anniversary and finds that his wife, Amy, is missing. Their house is a mess and there are signs of a struggle, so the police start looking for her. At first, it just seems like Nick is a confused husband, but as the days go on and more clues appear, everyone starts to wonder if he had something to do with it. The way Nick acts doesn't help. He smiles when he shouldn't, avoids certain questions, and clearly has something to hide. Then Amy's diary shows up, and in it, she talks about being afraid of Nick. It sounds like she was trying to get away from him. The media runs wild with it, and pretty soon, everyone thinks Nick killed his wife. But then the movie flips everything and reveals Amy isn't dead, and she's not even missing by accident. She planned the whole thing herself, faked the diary, left clues, and made it all look like Nick's fault because he cheated on her. She wanted revenge, and she was smart enough to make it work. The twist hits hard because you've been watching Nick fall apart, thinking he's the bad guy, only to realize the person controlling everything was never gone. Later, when her plan starts to unravel, Amy goes even further. She kills someone else, returns home, and claims she was kidnapped. Now Nick knows the truth, but there's nothing he can do. She's already spun the story, she's already pregnant, and she's back in the house like nothing ever happened. He's trapped by how perfectly she played the game. When Gone Girl came out in 2014, audiences were shocked. People gasped, argued, rewatched it just to catch the signs. It has an 88% certified fresh Rotten Tomatoes score, and a Reddit user describes the twist as so satisfying. I had no idea where the story would go, and what made the twist so strong is that the story never lied. It just let you assume, right up until Amy took over. A man works in an office and feels very bored and tired. He can't sleep at night and feels like his life doesn't matter. So one day he meets a cool and wild man named Tyler Durden, and they become friends and move into a messy old house, and together they start a secret fight club where men meet and punch each other to feel alive. At first, it looks like Tyler is helping him change his life. The fight club grows bigger and turns into something called Project Mayhem. People in the club start doing bad things like breaking stuff and making bombs while Tyler gives all the orders. The main character starts to feel scared, thinking Tyler is in control. Everyone in the club listens to Tyler as even strangers call the main character Mr. Durden, but he doesn't know why. Then the movie flips everything and shows Tyler is not real. He is just a part of the main character's mind who he made up without knowing it. He was doing everything himself the whole time, fighting himself, giving the orders, and planting the bombs, and Tyler was never there. The twist is so crazy because you really think Tyler is real. After that, the main character wants to stop it all. He finds out that the bombs are ready to go off and also tries to get rid of Tyler by shooting himself, but Tyler disappears, leaving the bombs to explode. The main character lives, and he stands with a woman named Marla as buildings fall outside the window. When Fight Club came out in 1999, people were shocked and said the twist was crazy and smart. On Rotten Tomatoes, the movie has a score of 81%. A respected film site, Birth Movies Death, explains that the narrator invented Tyler as a split personality who consumes him from within. Mia is a young actress trying to land a role, and Sebastian is a jazz musician who wants to open his own club. They meet in Los Angeles and fall in love. At first, it feels like a perfect story, and as they push each other to follow their dreams, their lives begin to change for the better, making it seem like they're meant to be together. But as time goes on, they start to drift apart, with Mia going to Paris to act in a movie and Sebastian playing in a band to earn money. They're both chasing their dreams, but not with them together, and even though their love feels real, the timing doesn't work. We start to believe that maybe they'll find a way back to each other. Then the big surprise drops in the final scene. Mia walks into a jazz club with her husband, and the club belongs to Sebastian. He sees her from the stage and starts to play their old song, and suddenly, we get a flash of what their life might have looked like if they had stayed together, getting married, having a child, and living a simple, happy life. Well, it's just a dream, because in real life, they followed their own paths and let each other go. After the dream ends, Mia and Sebastian just smile, lock eyes, and don't speak to each other. It's not the ending we expected, but it feels honest. They loved each other deeply, but love wasn't enough to make them stay, forcing them to choose their futures, even if that meant going separate ways. When La La Land was released in 2016, people were surprised by the ending. The film was a major success, winning 6 Academy Awards and receiving 14 Oscar nominations overall, and also numerous nominations across the globe. It holds a 91% score on Rotten Tomatoes, and fans on Reddit have said things like, "That ending broke me in the best way possible." It reminds you that love and dreams don't always fit in the same life. Even Vanity Fair called the ending brave, and the Eagle Online said it feels like a goodbye, but also a thank you. Wanda is living in a strange but happy sitcom world with her husband, Vision, whom she created. Every episode feels like a different classic TV show, from black and white to color. They have a cozy house, friendly neighbors, and even twin boys. At first, it seems like Wanda created this perfect world because she's grieving, and all she wants is peace. Everything looks normal on the outside, but some things don't quite make sense. With time, the cracks begin to show as Vision starts to notice strange things, like people repeating the same actions and acting scared while Wanda keeps skipping through time. A neighbor named Agnes always pops up with a smile and a joke, but she's there too often and she seems to know too much. Still, most fans think Wanda is doing all of it alone and just doesn't want to let go of her pain. Then the show turns around. It is revealed that Agnes is actually Agatha Harkness, a powerful witch who's been behind a lot of the strange things happening in Westview. She tricks Wanda, spies on her, and even sings a catchy villain song called "It Was Agatha All Along," which shows her using magic to control people and events from the start. The twist hits hard because we all believed Wanda was in full control, but Agatha had been pulling strings from the shadows the whole time. After that, Wanda fights back. She learns about chaos magic, takes on Agatha in a full witch battle, and finally accepts the truth about what she's done to the people in town. She lets her fake world go even though it means saying goodbye to Vision and her kids. She doesn't win everything, but she leaves stronger and more aware of her power. When WandaVision aired on Disney Plus in 2021, people were blown away by the twist. The Agatha All Along moment went viral, became a top trending song on iTunes, and even won an Emmy Award for Best Original Music and Lyrics. The show holds a 92% score on Rotten Tomatoes. Critics from Screen Rant praised it as one of the boldest twists in the MCU so far. A child psychologist named Dr. Malcolm Crowe helps a boy, Cole, who says he sees dead people. Crowe is shot by a former patient at the start. He seems to keep seeing his wife, Anna, but she acts distant, and in meanwhile, he visits Cole and tries to help him. At first, it seems like Crowe is alive and working to heal both Cole and his own marriage. The more we watch, the more questions pop up. Crowe never leaves his house, no one else talks to him, and Anna treats him like she doesn't see him. Cole says things like, "Dead people don't know they are dead." Little clues hint something is off. The film builds mystery around Crowe and his world. Then the movie twists and reveals Malcolm was dead the whole time. He died when he was shot in the beginning and didn't know he was a ghost all the while. Only Cole could see him and talk to him, and all the moments with his wife make sense now. She wasn't ignoring him, she just couldn't see him. The twist hits hard because we believed Malcolm was alive the whole time. After that, Malcolm visits Anna one last time while she's sleeping and tells her she was never second and that he loves her, then he disappears. Cole is also better now as he is no longer afraid of ghosts and can live more peacefully. Malcolm's story is over and he finds peace too. When The Sixth Sense came out in 1999, the twist shocked everyone with audiences gasping in theaters. A fan recollects for the first and only time in my entire movie-going life. I heard a packed theater gasp, describing several hundred people simultaneously realizing they'd been mind-fucked. The movie has an 86% score on Rotten Tomatoes and still holds strong reviews. It has 6 Oscar nominations including Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Supporting Actor for Haley Joel Osment and is praised for its twist and emotion. Critics from Film Companion and Esquire call it one of the best twist endings in film history. What makes the twist so strong is that the movie gave clues all along, but we didn't notice until the truth was revealed. Luke Skywalker is training to become a Jedi and fight the evil Galactic Empire. He travels with his friends, fights battles, and slowly grows stronger with the help of his teachers like Obi-Wan and Yoda. At first, it seems like he's the son of a hero and is meant to destroy Darth Vader, the evil man who helped kill his father. Luke trains hard, faces danger, and finally goes to rescue his friends who are captured. He comes face to face with Darth Vader in a big lightsaber fight. Everyone watching thinks this is the moment where the hero finally stands up to the villain who destroyed his family, as we have been led to believe the whole time. But we've been looking at it all wrong, and in one of the most famous scenes in movie history, Darth Vader doesn't just fight Luke, he tells him, "I am your father." All this time, we thought Vader killed Luke's dad, but he is actually Luke's dad. Obi-Wan didn't lie completely, but he also didn't tell the whole truth. Suddenly, everything changes for Luke, who isn't just a hero fighting evil. He's the son of the very evil he's trying to stop. After that, Luke screams in pain and confusion. He doesn't join Vader, but now he's carrying a secret so big it changes his future. He doesn't tell his friends because he's scared and unsure of what might happen, and now he must face the truth. His father is the enemy. When The Empire Strikes Back was released in 1980, this twist shocked the world It was kept so secret that even most of the cast didn't know until the scene was filmed. It's now considered one of the greatest twists in movie history. The film holds a 94% score on Rotten Tomatoes, and fans on Reddit have said things like, "I was heartbroken. I really knew it wasn't a lie because of Luke's reaction after Vader told him to search his heart." Robert Angier and Alfred Borden are two magicians in the 1800s, and they both want to be the best on stage. At first they're friends, but after a tragic accident involving Angier's wife, they become enemies. Each one tries to outdo the other by stealing tricks, spying, and even ruining performances. It seems like the story is about two men fighting over who is the better magician. Borden performs a trick called the Transported Man, where he steps into one door and instantly comes out of another, but Angier can't figure it out, and it drives him mad. He travels far, even to America, to meet Nikola Tesla and build a machine to copy the trick. Meanwhile, Borden keeps living his life, sometimes loving his wife deeply, other times acting cold and distant, and his wife starts to notice that he seems like two different people. Then the movie flips. Everything. We find out that Borden didn't use magic or machines. He had a twin brother the entire time. They took turns being Alfred Borden, living as one person. One was always in the spotlight while the other hid in the shadows. They shared their life, their secret, and even the people they loved. It's why one Borden loved the wife and the other didn't. It's why the trick always looked perfect as they had been switching places for years. After that, we see how far they were willing to go to keep the secret as one brother cut off his fingers just to match the other's injury. They took turns raising a daughter, and in the end, one twin died, and the other is left to finish the story, alone, but still holding the truth. When The Prestige came out in 2006, people were blown away by the twist. Director Christopher Nolan told the story like a magic trick, making you look one way while the truth was hiding in plain sight. The movie was nominated for 2 Academy Awards and holds a 76% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes. One Reddit fan wrote, "One of the best movies I've seen that is completely different the second time you watch it." Metacritic Summary calls it a visually stunning, startlingly clever sleight of hand that will have audiences pondering well after the lights go up. Harry returns to Hogwarts for his 6th year, and things feel darker than before. Voldemort is back, the Death Eaters are attacking, and Dumbledore is acting more secretive than ever. He starts spending more time with Harry, trying to learn secrets from Tom Riddle's past. At the same time, Harry grows suspicious of Draco Malfoy, who's sneaking around and acting strange. It seems like Draco is planning something dangerous. Meanwhile, Professor Snape makes an unbreakable vow to Draco's mother, promising to help Draco with whatever mission he's been given. We don't know what that mission is, but it feels like something bad is coming. Dumbledore and Harry then go on a risky trip to find one of Voldemort's Horcruxes, and when they return, Dumbledore is weak and sick, and everything goes wrong from there. Death Eaters sneak into the school, and Draco disarms Dumbledore on top of the astronomy tower, but he can't bring himself to kill him. Then Snape arrives, and with no hesitation, Snape casts the killing curse and Dumbledore falls from the tower dead. The man Harry trusted most is gone, and it's Snape who did it, leaving Harry frozen, shocked, and full of rage. Everything we thought we knew about loyalty and sides comes crashing down. After that, Hogwarts changes, and the school is filled with fear. Harry, Ron, and Hermione decide not to return next year. Instead, they'll go hunt down the remaining Horcruxes, and the trust Harry once had in Snape is completely broken. But deep down, the story leaves a question. Did Snape kill Dumbledore because he wanted to, or because he had to? Although the book was originally published in 2005, when the movie Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince was released in 2009, this moment hit fans hard. The film earned an Academy Award nomination for Best Cinematography and holds an 84% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes. On Reddit, one fan who read the book wrote, 1. I threw the book. 2. I tried to explain to myself it was an illusion. 3. I didn't read for 2 days. 4. I cried. 5. I continued angrily but determined. Another fan on Reddit who watched the movie said, watching that scene in Half-Blood Prince after countless times and I still get emotional. Truman Burbank is just a regular guy living in a quiet town where every day feels the same. He says hi to his neighbors, goes to work, and chats with his wife. Nothing seems too strange until small things start happening. A studio light falls from the sky, a radio picks up strange signals, and a man who looks like his dead dad shows up on the street, making Truman start to feel like something isn't right. As time goes on, Truman gets more curious as people around him seem to follow patterns. His wife uses brand names when talking, like a commercial, and everyone tries to stop him when he wants to travel or leave town. The people closest to him, even his best friend, always try to calm him down and keep him from asking questions. Then the twist hits, revealing everything in Truman's life is fake. His whole town is a giant set, and everyone he knows is an actor. He was raised on live TV without ever knowing it, and his life has been broadcast to the whole world, 24/7. Even his wife and parents were hired to play their parts. The show's creator, Christof, controls the weather, the sky, and everything Truman sees. After finding out the truth, Truman decides to escape. He sails across the fake ocean, hits the edge of the dome, and walks through the exit door. It's one of the most powerful scenes in film history where he finally gets to live a real life. When The Truman Show came out in 1998, the twist amazed audiences and critics. It earned 3 Academy Award nominations, including Best Supporting Actor for Ed Harris and Best Director for Peter Weir. On Rotten Tomatoes, the film holds a 95% score, and one fan on Reddit comments, "Freedom, truth, eyes open finally after the long charade." Roger Ebert gave the film 4 stars and mentions how he enjoyed the movie on its levels of comedy and drama. He also says Jim Carrey is surprisingly a good choice for the movie. Harlan Thrombey is a rich old man who writes mystery books, and one day he is found dead with a slit throat in his house. His whole family came to visit for his birthday, so now everyone is a suspect. A smart and funny detective named Benoit Blanc shows up to find out who did it. At first, it seems like a normal mystery. Someone in the family must have killed him. But then something big happens. We learn that Marta, who was Harlan's kind nurse, thinks she killed him by mistake. She gave him the wrong medicine by accident, and Harlan, realizing he is going to die, tells Marta to cover it up and make it look like suicide, also creating a false alibi for her because he wants to protect her. Marta feels scared and sad, but she listens to him because he was always kind to her. Now we think we know what happened. Marta didn't try to hurt him, but she feels bad. She acts like everything is normal, while the detective keeps getting closer. When it seems like she could go to jail, everything changes and the twist hits. Marta didn't kill Harlan at all. She gave him the right medicine without even looking at the label because she's so used to helping him. It was actually Ransom, Harlan's bad grandson, who switched the labels on the medicine bottles to try and blame Marta. He wanted the family's money, so he made a sneaky plan. But in the end, it didn't work, because Marta's kindness and honesty helped her win in the end. This twist is surprising because it tricks you twice. First, you think Marta did something wrong. Then, you learn she did everything right, and it was someone else who caused all the trouble. That makes the ending feel smart and exciting. When Knives Out came out in 2019, everyone was surprised and happy with how it ended. The movie has a 97% score on Rotten Tomatoes because it's clever, funny, and different from most mystery stories. The movie was even nominated for an Oscar for Best Original Screenplay, and it won a Saturn Award for Best Thriller. On Reddit, one fan commented, "Great movie, didn't see the end coming up until the reveal." Severance is about people who work at a strange company called Lumen, where workers have their memories split. When they're at work, they can't remember their outside life, and when they leave, they can't remember what happened at work. This split is called severance. So there are really 2 versions of each person, a work self and a home self, and they don't know anything about each other. Helly, one of the new workers, doesn't want to be there at first, so she keeps trying to leave, but her outside self won't let her quit. The work version of Helly feels trapped and she's not comfortable. Mark, another worker, tries to help her adjust, but everything about the job is weird as the rules don't make sense, the bosses are creepy, and no one really knows what they're doing all day. As the show goes on, the workers start learning secrets. They realize that something is very wrong at Lumen, so they try to wake up their outside selves to tell the world what's happening inside. Finally, in the season finale, their plan works and Helly wakes up on the outside. Then comes the twist where Helly finds out that her outside self is actually Helena Egan, the daughter of Lumen's founder and one of the company's leaders. The version of her at work was being used to prove that severance is a good idea. She's the boss's daughter, and her outside self believes in the company completely, but her inside self hates it. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 97% critic score, with critics' consensus calling it audacious, mysterious, and bringing fresh insight into the perils of corporate drudgery. Severance is the complete package. Taki is a boy living in Tokyo, and Mitsuha is a girl living in a small town called Itomori. One day, they start waking up in each other's bodies, and it's strange, confusing, and funny at first. But they slowly learn to leave messages for each other and help fix each other's problems. They become close, even though they have never actually met. But then the twist happens when Taki wakes up one day and the body swapping stops completely. He tries to call Mitsuha, but her number doesn't work, so he travels to her town, only to find out it was destroyed by a comet 3 years ago. That's when he realizes the truth. Mitsuha had been dead all along, and their connection crossed time, not just space. Taki wants to change that, so he finds a way to go back using a special drink from her shrine, and for one last time, he switches bodies with her and helps her evacuate the town just before the comet hits. After that day, they both forget each other, but they still feel like something is missing. Years later, in the middle of Tokyo, they pass each other on a staircase. They turn around at the same time and ask, "What's your name?" And that's how it ends, with a twist that ties love, time, and memory into one final moment. When Your Name came out in 2016, it became a global hit. It made over $405 million worldwide and earned a 98% critics score on Rotten Tomatoes. Critics praised how the film mixed fantasy, time travel, and real emotion without ever feeling confusing. And even though the story is about magic and fate, the biggest surprise is how much it makes people feel. The Avengers are a group of powerful heroes who have saved the world many times, but now they face something bigger than ever. A giant alien named Thanos is trying to collect 6 magical stones called Infinity Stones. If he gets all of them, he can wipe out half of all life in the universe just by snapping his fingers. The heroes split up and try to stop him. Iron Man flies into space with Spider-Man and Doctor Strange. Thor builds a new weapon strong enough to kill God, while Captain America and Black Panther protect one of the stones in Wakanda. Everyone is doing their best and it feels like they might win. But Thanos is always one step ahead because he gets stone after stone, defeating everyone in his way. Even when Thor hits him with his new weapon, it's not enough. Thanos snaps his fingers and people start turning to dust. Black Panther, Bucky, Wanda, Star-Lord, Doctor Strange, even Spider-Man vanishes while begging not to go. The ones left behind are frozen in shock, not sure what to do, while Thanos sits down and watches the sunset, calm and happy he won. Avengers. Infinity War came out in 2018, and nobody saw that ending coming. People left theaters stunned. It was the first Marvel movie where the heroes truly lost. On Rotten Tomatoes, the movie has an 85% score, but what made it unforgettable was that final snap. Critic consensus on Rotten Tomatoes comments that Avengers: Infinity War ably juggles a dizzying array of MCU heroes in the fight against their gravest threat yet, and the result is a thrilling, emotionally resonant blockbuster that mostly realizes its gargantuan ambitions. Even today, people still talk about the moment Spider-Man said, "Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good." Because it wasn't just sad, it was the end of hope. Liesel Meminger is a young girl living in Nazi Germany during World War II. After losing her brother and being separated from her mother, she is sent to live with foster parents in a small town. As the war gets worse, Liesel begins stealing books and learning to read with help from her foster father. She forms a close friendship with a boy named Rudy and secretly helps hide a Jewish man named Max in their basement. Throughout the story, Liesel uses books and words as a way to make sense of the violence around her. She reads to others during air raids and writes her own story while the world outside falls apart. But one detail makes the story different from most. The narrator is Death. From the start, Death explains it is watching Liesel and following her life. It describes events with exact detail and sometimes reveals things before they happen, like which characters will die. This twist is not hidden and is stated clearly early on, but it changes the way the entire story is told. Death narrates Liesel's story all the way to the end, including the bombing that destroys her neighborhood and kills many people she loves. Liesel survives, and her written book is saved by Death, who says it remembers her. The Book Thief was published in 2005 and written by Markus Zusak. It has sold over 16 million copies worldwide and was turned into a film in 2013. The book has received widespread recognition, with Time magazine naming it one of the best young adult novels of all time. A strange mist rolls into town and people hide inside a supermarket to stay safe. At first, they think it's just bad weather, but then something terrifying happens. There are monsters in the mist. Giant bugs, tentacles, and other creepy things are waiting outside, and anyone who steps out disappears. Inside the store, a man named David tries to stay calm and protect his young son. At first, everyone works together, but as time goes on, fear takes over. Some people start believing the mist is a punishment from God, while others become violent, but it's clear that the danger is both inside and outside. David tries to lead a small group to safety, and they fight their way through the mist, hoping to escape. They lose people along the way, but finally, just 5 of them make it to a car. David, his son, 2 older folks, and a woman. They drive until they run out of gas, surrounded by mist, with no help in sight. Then comes one of the most shocking endings ever. David thinks there's no way out, so to spare everyone from being eaten alive, he takes a gun and shoots others, his own son included. He's left alone, crying and waiting to die, but just seconds later, the mist clears, and the army shows up as help had been minutes away. He killed them all, for nothing. When The Mist came out in 2007, audiences were stunned. Stephen King, who wrote the original story, even said the new ending in the movie was better than his own. If you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe, and you also might enjoy watching these. Thanks.